This video is not for whales and dolphins, it's for you because you are just like me. Average Life Gamer here, and today I want to talk about Miyabi because Miyabi is coming back on her rerun. She last ran in 1.4 and that was her original run where she had the whole of the patch. And now she's coming back in 2.1 with the rest of this absolutely stacked patch. And the question is now the right time to pull Miyabi? And the answer is probably not. Okay, so first things first, and this is the thing that I want to get out of the way, is that you don't need any character. I think there's probably going to be quite a lot of hype around Miyabi coming back and everyone thinking that she's still the best DPS in the game, which is true. It's the second coming of the Void Hunter. But I think the key thing, the key message that I want to get across is that no character is required to clear in Zenless Zone 0. Now, as much as Miyabi is great, and she will probably help to lift most accounts, if you feel like you're kind of covered from an anomaly perspective, and you're kind of covered from a ice DPS perspective, then I think you're good. I don't think you will need her. And I also think if you're in a position where you're a newer player, maybe you started in 2.0 or, after Miyabi's original run in 1.4, 1.6, 1.7, you started around there, potentially. If you're building your teams because you want to use specific characters, then there is a chance that Miyabi just doesn't fit into that. And again, this is why I'm saying this right at the start. Don't fall for the FOMO. Don't fall for everyone saying, you have to pull Miyabi. You really don't. But with that out of the way, let's talk about why she's awesome. So Miyabi is very much still the GOAT. Let's put it that way. Yixuan came along, and Yixuan is getting shield to heck with the bosses and the buffs in Deadly Assault. But I think we're all in agreement that Miyabi is still the strongest DPS in the game. I do think that Yixuan kind of runs Miyabi a little bit close, and they're very much in the same tier, but I think Miyabi still just edges it out. And that's a good thing. It means that Miyabi was created to be the ceiling for where DPS characters should go, and that's where she stays. Very good. This is good for the future of the game. It means that we're hopefully not going to see a character go above Miyabi soon. And I guess that kind of brings us over to the point of, well, then if we're not going to see a character that's a stronger DPS anytime soon, maybe not until 2.4, maybe not until 3.0, then why not just pull Miyabi now? And again, that is kind of the point of, well, yeah, you absolutely can. Just remember, you don't need to. But let's talk about how she can work in a bunch of different teams. So we obviously have the Mono Ice team. This is the one that everyone talks about. And it's mostly because the cost is so low. Because you have Lycan, who is a standard S rank, yeah, but he's not a limited S rank. And then you have Sukaku. Now you can get Lycan for free from the standard selector that we've got going on right now for the anniversary. It may have finished by the time this video comes out, so sorry about that. But if you're a newer player, you will eventually get to 300 standard pulls in 6 months or so. And then you can get Lycan then, or you'll probably lose a 50 to him before then. Anyway, you can get Lycan pretty much for free, and then you can also get Sukaku for free when you start Shiyu defense. So without pulling anyone else, you'll end up with Miyabi and her best team. And also to that point, Miyabi doesn't really even need Lycan in that slot. You can run Miyabi, Sukaku, and just an A-rank support. There's probably footage in the background right now of me playing Miyabi, Sukaku, and Lucy, and it still is great. It's still fantastic. It still works really, really well, and I'm messing up pretty much every stun window. So she's got some really great team options, though, in terms of if you did want to invest. So she pairs really well with any other anomaly agent. So she'll pair really well with Yanagi, with Vivian, with Bernice. She's gonna pair really well with pretty much any other anomaly agent unless they want a whole lot of field time, like Jane, where it gets a little bit harder to recommend them in that slot, even though they probably could do an okay job. And then you just put a support in that third slot. If you want to get expensive with it, then yeah, you could run Miyabi, Yanagi, Astra, or something like that, and just absolutely destroy the endgame content, or Vivian in that slot. It's up to you. You can run whatever you want in there, and Miyabi will be completely fine. And I guess that's the power of Miyabi, right? Is that she's incredibly flexible. You can run her in the very low-cost Mono Ice team. You can invest a little bit more into a team. And honestly, it doesn't make it necessarily a better team because, as we've seen, like when played at a very high level, Mono Ice can, in fact, kill endgame bosses, i.e. getting over 60,000 score, which is absolutely ridiculous and completely unnecessary, and you don't need to learn how to play it at that very high level, but you will make your life easier if you ran like Astra Vivian and Miyabi, and you could get like 40k and just be happy with that, and that would be fine. So yeah, incredibly flexible. She'll work as both a ice crit DPS, so you could run her in a similar way that you would with Ellen, but she also functions as an anomaly character as well. She's kind of the best of both worlds. She's incredibly flexible. She is the best DPS in the game. Now, we're going to move on and talk about why you shouldn't pull Miyabi in just a moment, but just before then, this is your reminder that you probably aren't subscribed. Liking and subscribing is a great way to support creators like me on YouTube. You can also drop me a follow over on Twitch, and you can come join the Discord if you just want to yap with other like-minded community members who are just down to yap about Zenless Zone Zero. So let's talk about why you wouldn't want to pull for Miyabi again. So the real reason I think that most people wouldn't want to pull for Miyabi is that they don't want her. And it might just be that her playstyle doesn't really agree with you. I would agree with the argument that a lot of the time when you play Miyabi, you're kind of just managing her stacks and then unleashing them when it feels appropriate to do so. And I think in a way that's fine because it lets you actually cycle through the team and play your whole team when you are playing a Miyabi team. But some people might not necessarily like that as much. They also might not want the content to be super easy. They might rather sweat a little bit and run their A rank characters. And I think if that's you, then sure, you can absolutely not pull Miyabi. You can be happy with your current DPSs, happy with your current teams. And I kind of alluded to it at the beginning, but this patch in 2.1 is absolutely stacked. Unbelievably stacked with really, really good characters. We got yuzuha in the first half along with Miyabi, and then in the second half, Ganagi and Alice. In terms of like anomaly, there's just a lot going on because we have an anomaly support and then 3 anomaly characters. And if the polychromes just don't stretch to also pulling Miyabi, again, I wouldn't stress about it. Is she probably the best pickup you can make in order to get that third team up and running, get it off the ground with your Miyabi, Lycan, Sukaku? Yeah, she is. But I think if you're in a spot where you are happy with what you have, or you want to work around a different character and it's more important to you to pull yuzuha, for example, because then you'll be able to play your Jane more or your Bernice more or whoever it is that you actually want to play more frequently, then pulling the anomaly support is going to make it easier to play those characters as opposed to just having a Miyabi team. And the last reason why you may not want to pull for Miyabi would be her reliance on her engine. Now, as much as she is a really great DPS, she's still probably the best DPS in the game without her engine, if you compare her against Yixuan without her engine, because both of those engines are really, really good. But what I will say is that her engine does actually lift her to like another level. It's extremely good on her, and if the polychromes just aren't going to stretch to the engine, and then that's going to leave you in a position where you've got Miyabi, you really want the engine, you know that you're not going to have enough polychromes in the patch in order to guarantee it, it might sting a little bit to leave that patch without getting it. And if that's how you feel about it, especially from a free-to-play or low-spend perspective, I completely understand. And it might make more sense to just pull a character who just works. For example, yuzuha, who just works. It's around a 10 to 15% diff without her engine. Unlike Miyabi, where it's around a 25% uplift. So if you'd rather just pull a character and then not have to worry about further investing into that character, and you know that you won't have enough for the engine, then yeah, absolutely, you can skip the engine. And lastly, just to bring it back to a point that I made towards the start of the video, and I'll say it again, waifu over meta. Always, 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 always. It don't feel like that you having some kind of FOMO by missing out on Miyabi. You're still going to be able to enjoy Zenless Zone Zero without it, especially if you are a newer player and you already have like a Yixuan team up and running. Your next team that you want to get up and running is some kind of anomaly team. Maybe you're really looking forward to Alice, and therefore you're going to pull yuzuha in the first half, Alice in the second half, or something like that. That makes sense to me. And again, don't feel like there's pressure to pull for the best DPS in the game. You can absolutely play the game and enjoy it without using Miyabi at all. But if Foxwife is Foxwife, then, you know, by all means. And anyway, that's about enough anime. Let me know down below. Are you pulling Miyabi? Are you pulling the engine? Are you looking to invest further into Miyabi? Let me know down below. As always, remember to like, subscribe for better average luck on all your pulls. Pull responsibly. Stay weird. Bye. 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 Bye.